welcome to the Exploding Heads Horror Movie Podcast, episode number 116.
Coming in hot.
Okay, here's a story. This is why. I had the other day, I came downstairs, I'm arranging things in this room, and I was so fucked up. Something else happened. I forgot what happened prior to this. I was in a bad mood about something. I forgot what it was, but I came down the stairs, and I came in my fucking basement down here, and I look, and I had recently put this box with the microphone and everything in it high up on this thing, so none of the cats could get it. Well, I came down, and I literally saw the box on the ground. The microphone was thrown across the fucking room, and there's a big dent on the fucking top, on the grid part, the covering of the mic, bashed in. So I brought it in.
Francesca.
She got a temper, that girl, right? He's like an old man. What the fuck?
You and your podcast.
It was Irene who forgot to pick up deodorant.
It's cleaning day. I forgot to pick up deodorant.
It's Sunday morning. It is cleaning day. That's right. But anyway, I came over here. Now I'm bugging the fuck out. And I'm like, okay, I am going to have to do a test before I record again. So I came over here. I sat right here. I plugged everything in. I used my QuickTime WordPad, whatever the fuck it is, and I did a bunch of tests. And I started playing around with the volumes. And I noticed that I come in kind of low and maybe not as clear and pristine as Christian does, especially. So I said, maybe if I play around with these little things, this here, what you hear now, is what I determined on playback is to be my best sound. But do you guys think it's too loud?
No, not now. Now it's perfect. Sorry,
Okay.
What were you going to say, Brandon? Did I ruin your joke?
I think it was just it wasn't going to be a joke. It was just more of the, all right, like it came in hot. But I actually like this sound, but I was thinking that too when I saw somebody post the video of us. And I'm saying to myself, man, Christian and Dave both come in louder than I do, but I think I think it's my speech. I don't think it's that I don't come in loud enough. I think it's the way
not my sound editing.
I think I have a speech impediment.
You don't have a speech impediment.
I was watching myself talk, and I'm like, I don't open my mouth when I talk.
Before you to go, apples and oranges, apples and oranges, apples and oranges. She sells seashells at the seashore.
Red leather, yellow leather.
You got to exercise that mouth.
Yeah, in more ways than one.
Dave, take out Junior. I want to do my exercises.
It goes right to Junior. Not all.
Sorry, I don't know why it goes right to Junior.
I don't either.
Your female options. He goes right to Junior.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly. That's amazing.
Cock on the mind.
Cock on the mind. Cock. Absolutely.
1 week down of my first week of dieting. I thought I'd bring it up since our group chat has become a diet and exercise chat.
Our group chat becomes everything but horror some days. So how did your first week go?
4 pounds lost.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I hit the scale. Remember, I probably brought this up on the show last year, but in October, I saw a weight that I never wanted to see. So I started doing it, and by Christmas, I was great. And then probably till about February, I kept this good diet going and everything like that, like just eating the right foods. I have gained so much weight now. The number I see on the scale is higher than it was the time I saw it in October. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. No,
It's
I've been really high. I'm about 47 pounds higher than I was about 8 years ago.
47. And Dave talks about his ideal weight being he was like 138. I go 138. I haven't seen 138 since I was like 10.
I'd be on hospice. So
138.
I was 148 at my lowest, but honestly, right now, I think 160 would be my ideal weight. I don't think I could carry less weight and eat a normal diet.
Well, how tall are you?
5'8", but I have different builds. I think
Sure.
I have a much broader shoulders.
I got a different build too. I got those fat stomach builds.
That's the thing.
No, I have much wider shoulders and a much smaller penis. Look, I got Christian right when he was drinking.
Awesome.
Could you? I brought it up before. Wouldn't it be great if you ate and that just went to your dick?
I wish. My dick would be 18 feet long right now.
No, it goes to my gullet. So I'm 5'9" or 5'9.5". It depends on who the fuck's measuring me. But so I'll say 5'9", but that's only an inch taller. I'm way heavier, and the lowest I've ever been. So growing up, I was always like, maybe 172 to 175 range, maybe 172.
Oh.
When I went on my like back in like 2012, 13, I made it down to like I think 167, 168, and that was great. But that was the lowest I've ever been that I can remember. 193. I 193. But look, I don't think I look like I'm not. I got a bit of a belly, but I don't think I look 193.
You carry it well. The same with me, because I was 195.5 a few months ago, and I was 191.5 when I started this diet. I just weighed in at 187, and I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Well, I know, but that's at least you're going the right way. It's
great.
I
know, but like I'm like 187 still. That's a good weight if I'm 6'2".
187.
It's true.
187. I'm gonna 187 myself if I don't lose more weight this week.
I know the feeling. The highest I ever got, 5 years ago, when I reached the highest I hit 183 was the highest number I saw on the scale, and that's when. That was the high, and that's when I said, all right, fuck this. I'm never supposed to be in the 180. This is out of control. I had a fucking double chin, this and that. I was sitting there watching TV in my fucking living room, and I would feel sweat under my fucking neck. I go, what the fuck is the matter with you? And this is what got me thinking. How could me, a guy who was fucking 5'8", 183, be sitting there and sweating, yet there's 300-pound people fucking walking around, and they seem to handle it well? I just come to the conclusion that some people are meant to be fat and some people just can't. Like I had all kinds of health problems. I was having problems sleeping. I wake up like fucking coughing in the middle of the night and having breathing difficulty. I'm like, I'm just not meant to be overweight is what it came down to. So I was 183. That was my highest. I went on the diet, started exercising. Here's the funny thing. I was not able to do both at once. In the beginning, I had the treadmill and I was on it every day, and I changed my diet and I lost maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 pounds. Then when my treadmill got locked up in storage for fucking 2 years, and that's when I was fucking basically homeless and living with my father, and all that crazy shit was going on. So there I am living in my father's apartment, and I was on the best diet I've ever been on in my life, where I was eating next to nothing, but I was feeling good, and I just kept losing weight. And I did this for so long that by the time we got the house and moved into our house, I got as low. Like maybe 2 weeks after we got in here, I was down to 138. So I had gotten down.
Wow.
I was like, holy shit, look at this. So that's where I was. My original target weight was 150. I said 150 is good. It's appropriate for me. I'm good. But I just kept losing it, just doing it. And I didn't have the urge to eat more food. And this was without exercise. So it's like awesome. So now all this time goes by. Now we're it's 2 years later. We've been in the house. About 3-4 months ago, I look on the scale and I'm slowly gaining a little bag each day. And I weigh myself every day. I've been doing this for fucking 5 years. Every morning before I get in the shower. And sometimes if I work out, I do it right after that. So I'm obsessed with it. So now I start seeing it at 150, 153, 155. One time I think I hit 159. I think I saw 160 pop up once. And I said, oh no, do not go back in this direction. What the fuck is the matter with you? So I put my foot down. I said, okay, this is going to change. I changed my diet. And then
you didn't have your other foot down on the scale?
That's why I'm so heavy.
Then you saw 170 and you were like, oh no.
Awesome. So I cut all the shit out of my diet. I started drinking more water a day, which is insane that I drink as much as I do, but I do. And I started losing a little, and then all my wife's stuff came out of her storage unit in California, which we have been paying for fucking years. We finally had the money because she got a big check for being out of work in COVID, a lump sum. So I go, there's the money. Let's go now. Get that. We were paying monthly for fucking ever for this shit in California, pardon me. So she went there and she got all the stuff, brought it in. We have it in the house. And then I realized that now I officially know that I have enough room to bring my treadmill out of the garage and down into the basement and start using it. So this coincided with me dieting. So for the first time ever, I'm fucking going ape shit on the treadmill and eating the diet. I've never been able to combine the two for any duration of time. So now, like I said, I was up to like 158. Now I saw 143 yesterday. So I'm fucking
wow, man. That's
hitting it.
We should do the show on a treadmill. All three of us should be on a treadmill, and we should just fucking do the show.
No, we should weigh in before each episode.
Yeah, we should do that. I realized why I saw 193. I got my tooth, and that's it. That's probably weighed me down a bit.
This is the premiere, right? Is this the premiere?
Yeah.
Oh, the tooth is
Introducing
back.
my tooth.
Yay! Ding.
Braden's mad because he can't make fun of my gap anymore.
I know.
I know. He's so disappointed. But anyway, do you ever like weigh yourself and take a big dump and then you run it right back to the scale and weigh yourself again?
All the time.
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
Sometimes a full pound gone. It's usually a half a pound, but sometimes a full pound.
Great.
It's great. Same thing like when I get off the treadmill, because motherfucker, I go on the treadmill for an hour and I fucking burn 700 calories and that's the only time I sweat is on that damn thing. But I do, and I get off and I'm like, okay, let's see. Then I go up and I weigh more, and yet I still have a stomach. This is what pisses me off. I still have a fucking stomach. You can see it from the front. Look at that shit. See, stomach.
It was like Dawn of the Dead.
But now from the side, it's not really there.
No, well, yeah. It looks like there's a six-pack in there somewhere.
You can't see it from the
same with
side.
me.
But when I look in the mirror, I see this fucking... And I tell people at work, they all make fun of me. They're like, oh, you're skinny. I'm like, I wish I was skinny. I'm not. And I go, there's nothing there. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Look at it. There's something there. So it's like, I'm going to be... My target is back to 138 because that's the number that I once saw, and I want to get to that all-time low. And
welterweight.
It's very feasible.
Featherweight? What is he at that point?
You should probably walk sideways from now on.
In boxing, what would you be? You should walk sideways. Welterweight? Featherweight? What are you at that point?
He'd be just under junior welterweight, which is 140.
Yeah.
Junior.
They don't have a belt for that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it is. Welterweight's 147.
Oh.
Lightweight is 135. And
Well, I wanted to be junior, so I could talk about me being a junior with junior, you know? He keeps coming
Put a
out.
boxing glove on him.
cut off an inch, and you'll be down to 135.
Can you pinch more than an inch? Hey, breaking news. We have a new patron. Just came in. How about that?
Wow, on a Sunday morning.
Great.
On
What
a
show
Sunday
did they
morning.
pick? What 8-hour show did they pick?
No.
for us?
They didn't pick that show. No. New Sean Klump, new $3 patron. By the way, we used to do this, and I have to apologize off the bat because I keep saying this and I keep saying it, and I've had a very busy week with work and things going on there, and I started to compile a list of everybody on the show that has anything creative, YouTube or podcast, and I was going to shout them out, and I absolutely will next show. It's taking a little more time than I anticipated. I want to do it right, so it's going to have to be next show. It's just too busy a week. But I will say this: we have got a lot of action just in August alone of new people joining. We had Kurt Dungeon on the 3rd. BC has come back. Bill Castanelli on the 7th. Alex Harrow has joined us on just this Monday.
Say hello to your little friend.
Yeah, nice. It's funny because I guess he mentioned that we joked about him before he was even on it.
That may have been the joke I made. I don't even remember. But I do remember bringing him up. I just don't remember in what context.
Pure hate, I'm pretty sure was the context.
But then we have Fan of Eli, who I only know because he's a patron.
Because I know Eli. Sorry.
I don't know who he is. I have only heard him brought up on 22 Shots before. And that goes with T-Bone, Tony Hartman, who I also know from the 22 Shots crowd. So that's awesome. Brandon Gregory and Sean Klump today. That's all been August, and we're halfway through. But in the month before, we had even more. So we're still getting new patrons, which is awesome. So thank you all.
Fantastic.
And if anybody wants to join the group
everybody.
page or the chat, let us know because they're there, and it's hard to put that on the page all the damn time. Join this, join that, or message people individually. So we know you're listening to the show or watching it. If you're interested in the chat or the group or whatever, just
No, I don't think I'm wrong. I'm almost positive that Alex is from back when I was just doing TJF 13 before we started Exploding Heads, and then he came into this fold, and I know that he's on the 22 Shots page as well. So I don't know if he knew them beforehand, but that's great, man. It's great.
I knew him through that, and there was another person we brought in. I want to say, who was the other guy we used to mispronounce his last name, or we weren't trying to pronounce, and he's Italian. We used to, what the hell was his name? He came from TIF.
Oh no, Dave Rendon.
Yeah, Rendona.
Yeah, I don't think he's a patron though. I gotta hit him up.
I haven't seen him in a while. No, he's vanished.
Yeah. His response to everybody: "They're not paid. Fuck 'em."
You're out of here.
Mafioso kick him. Rendoni, I don't give a fuck.
It is really funny about podcast listeners how a lot of guys are like really hardcore into a podcast for a little while, and then later on, and this happens with every show. It happened with Skeleton Crew. I've seen it with show after show. They have these real hardcore fans in the beginning, and they're like outspoken. They're all over the place. They contribute. They do email, and they're on the pages. And then all of a sudden, 2 years later, they're just vanished. They're not around at all. Not even in a limited format. They're just nobody hears from them. And I notice that happens a lot. I guess maybe people just run out of time. They can't listen anymore. That's my guess, because I don't think like.
Or they left the social media thing, because Warren Money's gone. He left Facebook. So there's like people that were very like big contributors, so you saw them a lot popping up. But then a lot of people ditched Facebook, I noticed, in the last year. I don't know if it was because of that security shit earlier or whatever, but a lot of people have assumedly left the realm of Facebook. I ditched Instagram. I had Instagram, and because my family keeps saying, go to Instagram. So I had it. I had the account for years. I never used the damn thing. So I just said,
it's boring.
I deleted it.
I'm not switching social medias. I know Facebook is considered for old people now, but this is it.
What's happening with his microphone? Are you hearing that, dude? D?
He's a little low. I wasn't going to say anything.
I'm low?
Cause a fucking...
Oh, no. I just did. I'm sorry, D. I'm sorry.
I figured you could fix it in post.
Is it normal now?
Yes.
No. Come on. Oh, look at that. What's going on?
Oh, wait a minute. You're back.
I know I'm back.
Yeah, you're back. What happened?
I have no idea.
The ghost of Warren Money?
Sounds
the ghost
good
of Warren...
now?
Yeah, you're perfect. And I'm not being...
You said. Did you say the ghost of Warren Sapp? Is that what
No, the
Warren
ghost
Money.
of Warren Money.
No, the ghost of War and Peace.
Holy shit. Didn't Warren Money... Didn't he... This is what I don't get. Didn't he start...
Hello.
You're good. Hello.
No, it's Harrow. Alex Harrow.
Didn't he start a podcast or two podcasts? Warren
He was
Money?
about
Did
to.
they ever...
He started the group pages for them, and I think they were supposed to be turned into a podcast. I don't actually think they recorded.
People do this all the time. They start the group page before the podcast, and the podcast never comes out. I'll never understand that. It's true. I would never do that myself until the first episode was recorded, at least, and then I would put the fucking thing up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just because you don't know. I just find it funny. You know, happens a lot though.
Hello.
Like I've been getting posted in Holly's group because she's a patron, and I'm in what is her, Beyond the Screams, I think is her new podcast, and I've been getting posts every day, but I'm yet to hear anything from the show, But I'm sure she will. I'm just saying I'm getting action in there. I'm like, okay, this is good. Where's the fucking show, Holly?
Why?
My mic is dropping all over the place.
You're fine though. You're perfect now. It's probably when we talk. It's go.
Hello?
Yeah, you don't have to lean in. Just talk like right there.
All right.
Just
you're
like
fine.
this.
Yeah, you're good now, man. Something happened for a split second. I shouldn't have opened my big fucking mouth, but I want to show
No, you got to keep your
tooth.
mouth shut. Look, I'm talking like this now this whole show. Look at me. Look, you can't
That's
see my
fine.
fucking head. Look at this.
That's good though. Now you sound good.
Good. Yeah.
When I was doing my tests, this is what I was doing. I was like this. I was like, okay, this is me talking here like I normally talk. This is me a little bit closer. And I noticed that when I come in a little bit closer, it sounds much better. It sounds
we should all be recording like this. We should be like, this is Christian Luciani coming at you from Exploding Heads Horror Movie Podcast.
The morning show.
That's the night storm, or the what do you call it? The
Show.
what's this shit called? The quiet storm. That's the evening,
Yeah, this is Sunday morning.
Come
This
on,
is what I was
Sunday
gonna
morning
say.
zoo.
The fact that person, who was the one out of all the names you mentioned again? Who was the one that gave us the donation on Sunday morning? Do you have the name there again?
Sean.
To put you on the spot.
No, it was definitely Sean. Sean Klump.
for all you religious people out there, instead of putting that money into the donation bin, put it into the Patreon.
It's true. You're right. Don't go to church. You can go to church, but
you get COVID there.
Church of Exploding Heads.
You get Catholic COVID.
Temple of the Dog. I'm going hungry.
What a good song. That was back in the day when you can have one or two songs and you sold the whole album because of it.
You're right.
It was a good matchup. I mean, I don't mean to shit on the band because that matchup was fantastic. Chris Cornell and Pearl Jam members and everything like that. And I remember I bought the album, for fuck's sake. So, but
now there are no albums. I mean, there are albums, but like I was telling my daughter, I was like the other day, I was like, she was talking about listening to this band or this band, and I'm like, Frankie, you should listen to this album. And she doesn't have any desire to sit down and listen to an album from start to finish, which, I mean, I want to recommend her these albums because that's what I do. I mean, this is a great fucking album. This is a 10 out of 10. I want her to sit down and listen to this because experience what the band was doing at that particular moment in time. It's different what a band does here and what they do 2 years later. Instead of just listening to fucking random tracks by a band, listen to their work. Listen to their album from start to finish.
We have that history, but I mean, I've fallen victim to it as well, man. There have been bands this year. Some of my favorite bands have released new albums, and I've have them on my playlist on my fucking phone, and I'm getting a track here, a track there, instead of just sitting down like old school and dropping the needle and just sitting back and listening to the album unfold. Now that's old school, but I mean.
But I have to. If a new album comes out and it's on Spotify or iTunes or whatever, and it's from a band that I'm into, I have got to listen. That's the only way I listen to an album. An artist comes out with something new, boom, fucking start to finish. That's the way it's intended. I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to be one of those.
Well, if you're an artist, there's not. Let's not group every piece of music out there as art, but the reality would be just like anything, just like a movie. They're all products at the end of the day. That's why I do have a hang up. So if we want to, one of my rants is the horror fan that can't seem to hate a movie. Because it's horror, because it's been put out there, they gotta love it. They gotta love everything. No, there's some shit that's out there. I've had this rant before. Why can't we just say, you know what? This is a piece of fucking shit. The downfall, or the reality is, what you think is a piece of shit will be, I guess, considered art or loved by someone else. What is that saying? One man's trash is another man's treasure, exactly? Yeah, something like that. Fine. In around that's that okay. Saying.
But I'm with you.
It's fine. It's shocking, though, how many people love shit. We can't hear you anymore. What's happening?
He's making a joke. I know he has a mic.
It's not a joke.
If not, why did you see? This is why you never tell him anything. You just fucking let it be, because now, good luck on finishing this fucking
That's a
show.
good album.
I'm just going to keep talking until he fixes this problem.
What the fuck is wrong with him? This is like worse than me falling asleep. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Yep. Not a thing. Yeah. So B is
the silence of the Orlick.
Usual, started playing around with his fucking shit, and now it hurt him. He'll never learn. I keep telling him every fucking time.
We're gonna be talking about one of his favorite movies today, and he's not even gonna have a voice. You're welcome, everybody.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes. Now don't touch anything. Don't even turn the fucking camera on.
I didn't even touch.
Don't touch a thing on the computer.
I don't want you looking busy. Just look right at the camera and
I
talk.
cracked a perfect joke at the perfect time, and I'm like, it didn't get a laugh. There's no way anyone heard me.
What was the joke?
Why does everyone have to love every fucking movie? And they said, are we talking about Jason Smith again? And
he may be one of them. He doesn't like everything, though, but he'll be at least the most honest, and I think he'll give a movie a chance. But some of the movies that I see him posting on his site that he's watching, I'm like, I don't follow the Dave Z art test a lot, but they would fail hook, line, and fucking sinker.
And they would as a film too, without even watching it. I'm telling you, time and time again, I see someone post something on fucking Facebook. This movie sucked, and I looked at the fucking cover. I'm like, yeah, no shit. The fucking movie. Look at that fucking cover. I would run, not walk away from it if I saw that on the fucking.
There's a couple. You got to be careful though this year, because with it being mostly like smaller VOD films. There's a couple that failed the test that have actually been pretty good movies.
Such as?
One in particular, I mean, it wasn't an amazing movie. I gave it like a 7, but Cruel Peter. I thought it was actually really cool. Stop.
Peter, a 7 counts. A 7 counts.
No,
That's
but
what I said, I'll watch
the
it.
artwork is atrocious.
Okay. Cruel Peter. I'll look at it on Letterboxd. Not this moment. I'll get back to it because I wanted. You mentioned Jason Smith, and I wanted to say something, and I thought about Brandon and Silence of the Lambs, and I have figured out that even though I've called myself a fanboy for certain things, I am not a fanboy for anything because I figured out what a fanboy really is, and it's not me. And the reason I'm not a fanboy for anything is there's not one fucking franchise I can watch, even my favorites, where I'm going to say every movie in that franchise is great. It doesn't happen. I think I'm too objective as a watcher of fucking movies to be a fanboy. I don't mean that to sound like I'm fucking highfalutin or anything like that. I'm just saying, I can't. Even my beloved Friday the 13th, yes, I'll still say that these movies are pieces of shit towards the end or not nowhere near as good. So I finally figured out the definition of fanboy. And this is, I don't mean this as an insult. I'm just saying when I listen to Brandon and when I listen to Jason Smith discuss Saw, they are Saw fanboys, and that's not a bad thing. But I've realized that I'm not a fanboy for anything.
You know what though? I know what you're saying because you'll actually dismiss, but I actually will rate some of the Friday the 13th movies low. We have in our retro,
correct?
But the reality would be, I know I'm a fanboy because I'll still watch them, and I know I'm like. Fuck this movie. I gave it a 3 or a 4, but I'm going to watch it.
I'll watch them all, but Jason Goes to Hell. So
I will still watch that one. I will still watch that one because I do like the gore, and it pains me because I feel like there's a good idea in there somewhere. I just didn't like how they did it. But we're not going to get back into a Friday retro.
It angers me as a Friday fanboy. How's that? That's why I don't watch. But maybe I'm so much of a fanboy, and I'm going on the other side.
Well, there you go.
I'm so angry at what they did with the character and the mythology of Jason Voorhees that I don't want to give it my time. So I don't know.
There you are. Maybe you are the ultimate fanboy because of that.
I don't know. And I don't, like I said, I didn't mean that as an insult to Jason and Brandon, but hearing them talk about it and hearing me, I was always the Saw guy to everybody I knew that coming in. People would say he loves that series, like Paranormal Activity. People like lump me in that fucking that category. Oh, he loves this and he loves that, and I do. But I still will watch some of them and objectively say, well, I'm only going to give this a 6. You know what I mean? Where Brandon and Jason give them all like a fucking 8 or higher, or so it seems. That I could be wrong about Jason. I don't know about the rating system with him and how that
he
figures. But I've heard Brandon. Oh, he doesn't.
No,
I don't.
What happened? What happened?
We're just calling you like a Saw fanboy, which is fine.
I am a fanboy.
Does Jason Smith rate movies? I can't remember.
He doesn't. He just says my review should tell you whether or not you should check it out.
Okay.
And he's right. And he's right. At the end of the day, he's right. Because, this is why he makes fun of us in the sense of, we'll be talking and talking and talking, and then the number that we throw out at the end doesn't necessarily coincide with his belief of what we've been discussing or how we've come across in our discussion. So, Brandon will say, oh, my God, this, that, and the other thing, and 7.5. And then he's like, oh, my God, that would have been like a 5 to me or a 4. And same with me. I fall victim to that, too. But it's fine. We are who we are.
But they're not 7.5s. It will happen. They're not 5s. You'll get 5s when they're 5s. We're not reviewing bad enough films for there to be 5s.
Hopefully not. No. Hopefully they do not do a review of 5. I gave 1 5 for one movie this year, though. I can tell you that. But I mean that's the lowest rated.
I gave a 5 to a brand new film I watched last night, and I could have given it lower. That's how bad I thought it was. But the acting was really good.
Good. Well, I'll tell you what, buddy.
And that's The Rental.
What? What about The Rental?
I gave it a 5, and I would have given it even lower if the acting wasn't so good.
Oh, my God.
That movie fucking
You
sucks.
loved it.
Oh.
It's in his top 10, I guarantee it.
That movie sucks ass.
Look at I can see. We're not getting into it today. We got fucking Sounds of the Lambs.
We can't get into it today. We cannot get into it. You're right. Let's, yeah. B, I was just kidding. Why don't you turn your camera on for these fine folks watching?
What?
I said, I was just kidding. Why don't you turn on your camera for these fine people watching us?
Is this a joke?
Oh, no. Don't even. Yes, of course it's a joke. Yes.
I'm not on camera right now, am I?
No, you are.
And you sound good. You're okay. Everything's
Christian, help me out for a sec.
No, everything's fine.
No, I know. I just adjusted something in the audio setting.
Oh, no. It's fucking sound. See? I don't know.
Again.
No, you're fine.
Don't touch nothing. Everything was
Oh, I
perfect.
went down again.
I know. And then you just touched something.
It's like your high school years all over again.
All right,
my
just help
God.
me with one thing before we continue this.
There's not going to be a fucking podcast today, people.
Christian, go to the audio settings.
Okay.